when you saw some of those interview clips or the contributions for the first time, Ronnie, I mean, it must be a bit like being on This Is Your Life. You know, you sort of find out how people, you know, what people remember about certain phases of your life, and Damien in particular. I mean, that's pretty poignant stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, as I say, it wasn't planned, and it's pleasant to hear the good and the bad, what people say about you. You know, the real stuff. You know, it's nice to see it going on.
Was it embarrassing at all, or did you just? I mean, you sort of find out things that people, you know, you didn't know people knew about you.
Nothing's embarrassing. No, it's life, isn't it? You know, some things are harder to take than others, but you know, there are gifts, like my little twin girls. You know, they're 4 now. You know, it's like, wow, they were like, I don't know, 1 or something when they were in the filming, and you know, it's lovely to say a thank you to all my kids as well through the years of dad, you know, changing whatever way but he's still rocking, you know.
Mike, the other thing you mentioned at the beginning that you didn't want to do this in the rockumentary style. So, you know, even having said that, there's still certain areas you want to touch on, I suppose. You know, and as you do, you know, you go back to Ronnie's to the Birds and that early period. But it's as much about his own personal life at that time as it is about the music, isn't it?
Mm. It's very interesting. The kind of ticking clock, if you like. I like to think of narrative and documentaries as having that kind of same energy as a drama. You know, clearly, you know, we had an ending, if you like, which is I do join the Rolling Stones. You know, if that's a kind of an ending, because he said pretty early on, I had my eye on this band. I knew I was going to join. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew I was going to get there. So I wanted to delay as long as possible the arrival of the Rolling Stones into the Rolling Stones, and use that time for me also to explore very pleasurably explore, you know, other musical venues and combinations that Ronnie had worked with. You know, he's played with everybody. He's jammed with everybody, and then I just loved some of the footage that we use in the film. Coming from that background with sort of combination of blues, jazz, and then the sort of British rock scene. Such good drummers he always worked with. He's always a very good sign of a great musician. You know, such really good musicians, and he's such a great ensemble player. But also, most importantly, he can front a band as good as anybody. And the fact that he then can also stand back and be an ensemble player is a remarkable observation of someone's ego. And I would say, with all due deference to Ronnie, that he's got a very, very good, solid, healthy ego in terms of his relationship with the world and his relationship with his fellow musicians. It's quite remarkable. Not entirely common in all musicians that I have met. Not naming any names, but, you know.
Yeah, because you talk about that, Ronnie, in the film, don't you? You know, the difference between being in a band, as you had been for so long, in various bands, and then, you know, going out with your own record, got my own album to do, you know, and being on the name out front.
Well, I've always had tremendous respect for the front man, and they are the front men, you know. I had Ali with the Birds. He was a vocalist, you know. He looked up to Mr. Jagger, and I always looked up to Roderick, and, you know, working with them, it was like, okay, you're the front man, I play the guitar, you know, but I can also sing. I can also play the harmonica. I can also double in for you if you feel ill, you know, but the thing is, you're the man, and that makes it work, you know, and I can make it work in another way, you know, like I would pay tribute to Chuck Berry after he died, you know, and he was always a forefront of my influence, you know, on the guitar, along with Kenny Burrell and, you know, Grant Green and people from the jazz. I would blend through Django Reinhardt, through, you know, Big Bill Brunswick, all of the blend in the melting pot, you know. And the same with a lot of the people that I loved when I was in short pants sang and played. So that's what I tried to do. And I always respected the power of the vocalist, you know, and the salesmanship of the vocalist, which Mick had.
Yeah.
the squad has.